Good morning. It is the 12th day of May. It is 2019. As far as the year is concerned, welcome to the Money Charts channel. My name is Derek. All bets, trades of the like, within each's own risk and their own reward. Obviously, a lot of risk came in on cannabis coin, and it's being felt right now down to 25 Satoshi. However, I guess there's always good news with bad news. If you're interested in about 38,000, 35,000 Bitcoin Satoshi for free, and a few of these coins for free as well, it's available right now. This coin is 25 Satoshi. And again, it was way higher. It's being delisted right now off of Bittrex. For on Coin Exchange, the cannabis coin in here, well, there's 275 on a sell order for 97, but I need buy orders. And, well, somebody wants to buy 1,000 at 72 cost. Well, I can buy it at 25. 680, somebody's trying to buy at 68. Someone's trying to buy 160 at 65. Someone's trying to buy 649 at 59. And someone's trying to buy 175 and a half at 57. If you add these numbers up together, we're looking at about 138,000 Satoshi. If you were to buy 100,000 Satoshi worth, which is the minimum buy on Bittrex, you're going to get more coins than what would be available here. Then you would send the coins over here. At least send this many in here. Maybe sell the rest on the market. You can't, no, you'd have to sell them all. Send them all over here. When they get here, if these orders are still available, well, then you sell it down to 57. And then you would still have some cannabis left, which are free. And then your 100,000, you'd have 137,000 Satoshi here, and you could have some fun with it on this site. Now, of course, that's extremely low stakes, but if you're ever trying to make little small plays here and there, I looked at this. I got pretty excited when I seen 72 in here first. And then I seen how much is available. I'm like, screw that. So we view and so on the daily term. I mean, the news, it's not new news that it's been going down. And I don't know if the wallets are even available on the coin exchange site. I'd have to presume they're online on Bittrex because it's being delisted. They're telling people, okay, either sell it on the market or send it off of our blockchain. That's pretty much it. Uh, it's like that song that I think that you can't stay here at a bar at 2 o'clock. I don't care where you go, but you can't stay here. You can't keep the coins here. If you do, we're deleting them. But a lot of coins are being delisted. EBST, a dope coin as well. That one is being delisted. And we can see here that's down to 38 Satoshi after it was amongst the 100. But as mentioned, EBST, Bittrex. This is a major decline, down to 35 Satoshi. Back here in March, it was 400 and change. On the weekly chart, we had this run here up to 19,000, which was lower than this run, which got up to 86,000. It's down to 35 at this point. And to give you an idea of this decline within the market on CoinMarketCap, I got this sorted for all coins. Volume at least $10,000, or that would work out in today's terms to about 1.5 Bitcoin. And sorting this by the top decliners over the last 7 days. So there's a cannabis, there's a eBoost, Hunter Coin, Poloniex. That's their coin. They're delisting coins as well. And some of the other ones that I've heard of, Namecoin. I was actually in that one. I'm out of that one. And it worked out okay, I guess, because I was one in for very low stakes. Then I made a high stakes buy order, which actually profited because it was at like 1,500 Satoshi, lower than where it was when I woke up. So that kind of worked out. But what it is. To Give, which is on Bittrex, it has been delisted. Like a lot of these other coins, like Dexin and Golden Fever. Like, why would I want a Golden Fever coin or any of these coins? Like, what's the whole reason? Burst, that's been delisted on Poloniex, but has not been delisted on Bittrex. Same thing with Counterparty, XCP, down about 50%. And amongst the chain of coins, we can see now we're in the 37th, and this is against Bitcoin, the percentage move. That why would you want these coins? What do you plan on doing with them? You asked the question. And in such, for me, well, with stuff like Bitcoin, Litecoin, those are coins I see that as like money. That's very much easy. But is Ether Party going to be the central reserve currency in the future, or Genesis Vision, or Checks, or the ABCC network? No, probably not. But do they have any case use scenarios? And if they do, that's fantastic. Binance Coin and well, what I'm doing with that, at least when I'm able to trade again, I use that to pay for transaction fees. But that's exact trading fees, and that's what for me a lot of it is. It's a numbers game. So when I'm playing coins like Syscoin has been delisted off of Poloniex as well, but not on Bittrex or not on Binance. I'm not too sure about Binance. I don't think so. But like with some of these coins that I own in here, I'm just trying to find one. I used to own No Limit Coin. It's down 22. It's down to 110. I don't own that one anymore. Like Vericoin. I'm just trying to increase my Bitcoin number. That's all I'm trying to do within that coin. There's risk to it, and we can, as I was showing you with one's pretty much going to nothing. There's your risk. You can lose it all. And then as we scroll down more quickly to the bottom, we can see 20% down, 18, then a whole bunch of whatevers. I'm about 75% scrolled through on the downside, and it's still negative 10 plus percent down. Now we have 8%, and the break evens. There's not much to go from this point on. So what's doing good? Ant Aragon, it's up 1.5%. Chainlink is up 3.1 over the last week. Clams, it's up 6.5%. But what's Metaverse ETP? I've never heard of that one. Promotion Coin PC, again, one. Horizon's up 10.62%. You know what? Maybe I should talk about that because that's got an interesting setup. I wasn't planning on doing so, but this is the rest of the list with Japan content doing very, very good. Is there any of these like monstrous 100% gainers I can look at? I mean, gold coin, that's one I guess I suppose I could. But I always thought it had more data, so I was surprised when I seen it. Oh, that's like one that's been around for a while. But it's only got this. It comes out here at 1400. It's had its early volatility. I don't know what else to say about this because I thought this coin was around for a lot longer than this. Okay, let's take a look at Horizon next. And we'll start off within the daily term, which is in at 0018. It was down here, down to 12, but where this line is right now is an interesting one because that represents this high in here from the March 21st date, and pretty much the same high from March 12th, and pretty much the same high from March 28th, and very close to these other 3 days, the day before and a couple days, but 4 or 5 days after it, where it hit that point. So a big level between 175 and 180. And then on May the 8th, 4 days ago, it breaks out above that level. Noticeable number, yeah, because 21 is higher than 178. But noticeable break above it has now come back down to the 18 highs, coinciding with this previous level. If it's able to break out from this point, then that can be very, very bullish. As far as momentum is concerned, it has most certainly grinded its way lower, band flattening out, but it's got a small descent lower. So sideways with a small bearish bias. Since the top, it is still having a positive correction given point A low at the 12 handle and just barely down within it. And as far as some more longer term information, there has been a lot of previous choppy movements. You go from the 106 up to 270, down to 106, down to 500, down to 140, up to about 526, down to about 18, up to about 61.8, or no, 00618. I like the 61.8, and it really wasn't 618, it was like 635. Just that's where my line was. Anyway, back down to like 256, and then all these, and a few moves here and there. But within this, as far as technical analysis is concerned, you got the downtrend in here as from the point where it broke below the 18 lows on June of 2018 on the weekly chart. It had really no real conviction in breaking the trend as it only got above the 18 average of highs here barely. It resisted it here on the October 29th period. And then when it did get above it here on February the 25th, it managed to have an establishment of resistance, come back to the band, and it has broken established resistance. So this is what I'm looking for this to now be in that of a bull market. A lot of it could be, okay, I'm long at 200 and you're down a bit, or you waited for it to come back and you put your entry into play. It's either going to be reversal of trend, and this thing should be aimed to make fill at least some of this empty space, at least one leg up to around the 25, 26, 27 level, or a failed attempt, failed rally, which would then be if you see weakness at around the 130 level, right around where the 18 average of lows is, then you'd be most likely having a significant break below the 111 handle. Oh yeah, Bitcoin, it's hanging in there today, not really doing too much. Oh, it's over 7,000. Well, above the 18 average of highs. Early signs for resistance at 6350 are poor, as I'm not really seeing any. Today's session is just really hanging in there. It's got a pierce higher. It's managed to make a move up to $7,581 levels not seen since August of last year. And it's had a nice little low today and at 6,900. So really weak volatility at 681 points, which is about 9.9 something percent. Because I take that number, I divide it by 6,900. But it's not weak volatility. It's just a sideways pause. It's actually pretty big volatility. Multiple green candles up from here. One, two, three, and of good nature. We're talking 3% a day up. Before that was 3.5% days, and then yesterday's session was 13.8. So definitely having a lot of nice moves. As far as the very short term single hour time frame is concerned, momentum has been lost towards the upside as we've had significant support within the 18 average. Momentum was lost in here though. I mean, it was just going sideways and it was showing, I'm not going to say weakness on the 18 lows because it wasn't declining, but that was only 3 periods where the 18 was average, and that's why it ran out of strength. And in this case here, well, this 18 has now started to go sideways, so momentum is gone. It can reestablish its momentum if it gets above 7,400 change, but it has to do that for me to have such a case come in, because after this high, we have four red candle down and a pause one in here. Even though it's a red candle, I don't care if it's red, a little bit green. That's a pause move, and it's a continuation pause move right now with 46 minutes 19 seconds, but not really. If it doesn't do much, it would be a pause move, meaning it holds above 7,060. It really doesn't get above 72.45. But if it starts to get above 72.45, now it's a test to the 18 average of highs at 73, which, I mean, it has to get above it to have it start to go higher. But that's more bullish within this losing momentum short term stage. And then getting up above here is resumption of this move. Because when it comes down to it, this 63.50 number that I've been really focusing on since the bottom, at least I calculated on the bottom, it has shown only very short term level of being any type of significance and really nothing at all at this point. And if there's going to be any type of short term Pierce's extra, yeah, it's common to have something like this and then break higher, but really north of 6,900. Okay. Oh, really north of 74. Okay, and it's now at 75.86. Definitely so far a spectacular run. The big reason why a lot of the altcoins are getting their ass getting their ass kicked against Bitcoin is because of this run. The Bitcoin dominance has broken above 62 and at 62.08% earlier, now at 61.89. This daily time frame does not stop keeping going up ever since. Well, it started on this April the 8th point, had this level of resistance established at 55.2%, and since breaking that level on April the 21st, which is now for 3 consecutive weeks, it has been nothing but straight up. A little bit of consolidation in here, a little bit of consolidation in here, but that's amongst it. And since that last low on May the 6th, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 consecutive up days in a row. In the single hour term time frame, there was a little bit in here where other altcoins were starting to get some jump, but it hasn't really lasted too long, as you can see. It's just, and the volume is like meh, I guess. But anyway, BTC dominance, the percentage of the market cap of which is that of Bitcoin right now is 61.88%. And when we look at this further, let's look at Ethereum against the Bitcoin. And I want to focus on this 30 handle, which is rounded Fibonacci from this low to this high. And obviously it was support in here, and the rally that it came from it was a lower high rally to this one. Had tremendous opportunity in supporting the 34, and then after it pierced below it. This was a Fibonacci miss, rare, but it happens. It pierced above. And mathematically speaking, I would think, and I do think, that the random chance probability odds for these randomish lines, or these calculated lines that nobody else calculates, when I say nobody else, I mean under 1%, well under 1% of people that actually look at these things. But the chances would be, you would think, just as good that you would have a pierce above than a pierce below, mathematically. These law of average, law of randomness, markets aren't random, but even if they weren't random like this, if I'm just to do high divided by low and to all this stuff, you would think there's just going to be just as many times it pierces X above that it pierces below. So when I see this in here, I'm like, really, that's a Fibonacci miss. It's either going to hit it like this, and you can still see it technically pierced extra, although by no means is this an exact number, obviously. But you pierce above it, come up to this level, and then in here, okay, it's a Fibonacci hit here. It congests at this area, and then it has a breakdown below this low. Is it a failed breakdown? No. For me to see a failed breakdown from this move, what I need to see is I need to see a breakdown, come back, and then come back to that congestion area, which it did, but it wasn't able to. It obviously broke down. I mean, the break of this support here at 29, which we're probably going to see on the more short term, which I'm going to next, just didn't work out. So it looked like it was going to be ready to go here after it made this move, but that didn't happen. After all, if this green candle move here on May 6th, on this day, if it would have stopped going up at this Fibonacci line or a bit below it, then I'm going to be thinking, okay, yeah, we're just resisting this area on the 18. It got a little bit above it. It broke above this high, so failed breakdown, failed breakout, and there's a fast move lower right now. But let's take a little bit more of this look on the shorter term time frame and see how it all goes down. So here's this big move in here, and was able to hold it. That's because it's resisting it. That's like meh, whatever. But obviously unable to get above it as it broke down below the support here at 297. Game over. And well, for the short term run, that is not. But now in here, what has happened over the last day or so? Well, we've had this bottom in here. Starts this nice little rebound, gets above the 18 average of highs, and starts to make some nice higher volatile moves, but it has a lot of trouble in this. So it's like almost like it's getting a boxing match or a UFC battle. You're getting your ass kicked with a few shots here and there, and you get frustrated, and you just want, you put a lot of energy against a very tough boss, we'll call it, like that's a video game terms. And you give it a good shot. You give him a few nice punches here, or nice little shots at this point, enough that might bring that big guy down for enough where he has to regain his breath or her breath and having maybe fall down to the ground a little bit. But that superstar, that boss, gets up and brings them back down. And I've seen in here how it resists the 18 at this little point from this move. So how does it handle this down move? Well, several periods going sideways, correcting through time. Now it's had this small move lower back in here. It looks like we're resisting this previous area of support. It may not, but it definitely doesn't look good on that sense. But when it all comes down to it, here we see Ethereum overall getting its ass kicked against the Bitcoin. Well, let's take a look at Ethereum against the US fiat. It's not anywhere near the same. And I'm going to find the Coinbase exchange because that would probably be the best. Oh, this has got a bullish setup. Oh, okay. So now we go from like bearish to bullish. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. I mean, much of a difference because of what Bitcoin has been doing over the last several days and weeks. That if Bitcoin is up over like 30% over like this decent period of time, which is like a few days, if some market's down like 20 something percent against Bitcoin, well, it's not really moving against the dollar. As it goes, this level of resistance, I'm going to lower it just a hair right here, right around $159.59, ballpark, give or take a fourth of a penny, has been big. It had this level of resistance here on Christmas Eve. It comes back again on January the 5th. Very good pullback after the January 5th, but a very good one to the point where it only retraced about 61.8-ish%. And I want to find out what that number was, so let me just do that. I don't know why I'm just wasting time, maybe because I can. 80.6 is the low, so let's bring up the Fibonacci calculator. I'm going to put 8,060 for how many pennies it was. And I'm going to find out what the high was. Okay, so I'm going to have to go with this high. It's the biggest. 160.62 it looks like. And I'm looking at the 38.2 number, which is in at $104.89. Yeah, I mean, that was a Pierce Extra. It's 50-50 if it goes a little above or a little below, just on a mathematical number. But in this case, it pierced Extra from that number, as it was again 104.89. So let's just put a line in there around that number. Yeah, and that's 45. So there's that 61% move. Comes back to previous high. And then it pierced Extra on a 38.2% retracement from this move to this high. And then we can call this inverted head and shoulders pattern, cup and handle, as it was coming up to this level on April the 2nd. Inverted head and shoulders pattern because this is a dysfunctional left shoulder here, your head and your right shoulder, or a cup and handle. This, so, and all that is, at least the completion of the head and shoulders pattern, the last 2/3 of it, and the cup and handle means you are at a key point that sells off. Then you manage, after a good sell-off, to not do a 61.8% correction or less, to do a 100% correction. You go to previous high, and then you pull off a successful high or low correction, which is the case, and then you get back to that high. That's what creates a setup. And from that point on, it gets above it, has supported it on numerous occasions, and is last left off from that level on May the 6th. Over the last couple of days, we have established resistance here between a band of 177 change and 187. So between the 77 and 87 number. So now that it's done that, I either want to see this thing start to accelerate her further, and I mean, this isn't much of a high from here to here, but it's like, man, whatever. So either go higher, but really what's now going to be important on the daily term, I think, is for it to hold and support this general area, which should coincide within the 18 average. And what I'm waiting for as a trader, because this morning I didn't make any trades. And if any of my ratios come through, I'll do whatever. Some are close, some are not. But theta's down a lot. When I look at my top gainers, I see Bitcoin Cash. Okay, I'm going to do Bitcoin Cash at the end of this video too. But we see Bitcoin here kicking ass and Bitcoin dominance, Litecoin against the dollar, Litecoin against Ethereum. Top losers, and not much at 6 and 2/3 and down to 2 here. And that's where I'm going to look at theta. But more losers against the winners. But theta just keeps going down. 12.27 now. Wallets have been offline for a few days on Binance. They said it was going to be a week. That was on like Tuesday maybe. So hopefully soon I can be able to pick up some more. But right now, unless I buy on Huobi, and I do have an account there, I could do forgot password thing and everything. But no, I'm just gonna wait until Binance gets it resolved. But I got no Bitcoin on there. I got no nothing on there to be able to buy it with. So thus, I am, like some other people, shut out from trading right now on that site. And let's take a look at BCH Bitcoin Cash. And it's at the 0.05 handle, and I got a line here at 522. This level of resistance is spectacularly big right now. It first got up there on May the 1st. It's a monthly level of major resistance on the 4-hour term time frame, just multiple hits upon it. And whenever you have a situation where you see in here from time it hit at the 20-hour timestamp to the last time near this 12-hour timestamp on May 5th, so this 4-day here period, it had multiple attempts at getting above it, a failed one here on May the 3rd, and then a significant breakdown. But how it recovers it so fast, what's important when it does this is for it to hold and stay above a key level. And there's so many places where that key level can be. Right now it's right in here at 47 right now. I mean, technically speaking, holding and staying above around here is what I'd want to see it do. So, and it, so far so good, but breaking out above that level there. Don't be surprised if this thing just has monstrously large red or green candles going up in big volatile moves. The volume in here since this bottom is really picking up. This is the Bittrex exchange. There was big volume in here, so that's something to keep your eye on. There's some big money people participating in what looks to be, of course, buying this market up right now. If we take a look at Bitcoin Cash against the US fiat, we'll see what Coinbases look like. $359. What I did, I had NLC2 and I replaced it with BCH ABC. Not the funnest of things to take it off my wallet to trade, because I got to just churn counts from legacy into whatever on this, but it still worked. I finally figured it out. A lot of waiting time. I think there was like 12. It's like a 4-hour wait, 5-hour wait, at least on Poloniex, to deposit the funds. I'm not too sure about Binance or Bittrex how many confirmations are needed, but I think it was like 14 confirmations, which took about 4 hours on Poloniex. I'm trading this against DGB, and if it goes up a little bit, nice. I'm waiting for the ratio to work in my favor. I traded the ratio at like 28,800. When I take this price divided by DGB, now it's at like 32. It's got a long ways to go still for me to look to sell this coin for the other one. Amongst this, though, this level of resistance here, and it's a range bound situation more than anything. It's this resistance ranged up to this level in here. It barely resisted it here. It's gotten above it, now supporting it. So there's a lot of reason here why this thing is very live for some very large moves. Moving forward, let's now finish this off by taking a look at it a little bit more long term. Daily chart, this is almost like the stock market. What's up with those gaps? I mean, that's like sick. Weekly chart, though. Well, reversal of trend. Stage 1, band flattening out. Stage 2, establish resistance. Stage 3, come back to the band. Stage 4, break it. It isn't fierce enough, or, I mean, I'd like to almost see this thing at like about a break of 400 as a clear established break. But I'm not going to be looking at this level as, oh my goodness, this previous support is a level of resistance. No, because it did all of this in this area here. If it's going to get above, I'd be thinking more along the lines of probably a little bit higher. But hey, that's what I think. That's not necessarily what the market's going to do. I'm just thinking that if this is a key point, just because of whatever reason, whether it be Fibonacci, where it came from, or whatever, if it has a move where it comes close enough to this level, has its correction and breaks it, I'm going to be expecting a more fierce push, or more importantly, a significant leg higher from this point. So breaking this leg, yeah, what, somewhere around here. And as far as, just minimum move, like a conservative move, is 505. Thank you for tuning in to this long morning video. A lot of good information, I think. And have yourself a great day. Bye bye.